Greetings of the day from Bharati Vidyapit College of Nursing, Pune. I am Dr. Bhagyashi Zukdev, just giving brief about the Constitution of India. Before to start the session, I feel you should aware about how we are celebrating the Constitution Day by taking the vote. So just I will repeat for you all since in the your school going period you are having this exposure for the preamblum which is given by our constitution, that the people of India having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and the opportunity, and to promote among them all then fraternity, ensuring the dignity of the individual and to unity of the nation. In our Constitution Assembly, this 26 November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. So this both we are taking regularly when we are celebrating the Constitution Day of India. So before going for the introduction, just you all are aware about Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, who drafted this Constitution of India for all of us. So it is a supreme legal document of India and the longest written national constitution in the world. The document lays down the framework that democrates the fundamental political code, structure, procedures, powers, and duties of government, as well as well as institutions, and sets out the fundamental rights, directive principles, and the duties of the citizens. If you see the background behind this, the Samuel Horace significantly drafted the Government of India Act in 1935, which became a base for the Indian Constitution, which is prepared by the Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, chairman of the drafting committee, presenting the final draft of the Indian Constitution at Constituent Assembly President Dr. Rajendra Prasad on 25th November 1949. If you see the details of this constitution, if you open the constitution, you will get the 395 in the right constitution. You will get the 395 articles in 22 parts and 8 schedules. About it is about 1,45,000 words. It is the second largest active constitutions after the Constitution of Alabama in the world. In the amendment, Constitution has preamble and 470 articles, which grouped into 25 parts with 12 schedules and 5 appendices. It has been amended 106 times, and the last amendment was given assent on the 28th September 2023. So, with this basic brief details, we will just start about what actually it says. It's not possible to complete the content in this session, but if you are interested, just go through the details of this Constitution of India. You will get the which article is important for which aspects. So it declares the fundamental rights. Again, I'm just highlighting fundamental rights of each and every citizen of the India. So it is a supreme law according to which the state of India is to be governed. The Constitution of India is the supreme law of the land, providing the basic framework for the country's governance. Its meaning lies in the being the fundamental law that establishes the government structure and powers, define rights and duties of citizens, and set out the national principles. First Constituent Assembly of India by Dr. Sachidananda Sinha, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, and many more people at the backstage. The Constitution of India is considered to be a supreme law of the country and put forth the framework of fundamental political principles. It establishes the structure, procedure, powers, and duties of the government and mention the fundamental rights, directive principles, and duties of the citizen. as well as federal system, which powers are divided or shared between the state as well as the central government, and the union system, the power concentration in central government with weak state government also. The nature of the constitution, it is a written constitution. It's a comprehensive codified document which is a fundamental features of the federal system. Means you will get the article number 3.4.1 part A, part B. This is the codification given in the constitution. Then the parliamentary system. Sorry. India is a parliamentary form of government where the real executive power lies with the Council of Ministry headed by the Prime Minister, as well as the federalism and unitary features. While federal in structure with a distribution of power, it also possesses a significant unitary characteristics, making it a unique composite state. Then the rigidity and flexibility. It is partly rigid, particularly in aspects of concerning the powers of the unions and states, making it resistance to easy the amendment. I should not give any example because it is whatever the law says, I have to go for the same. But still, any law is there, if and buts are there. That if and buts is covered by this constitution. Then independent judiciary. It establishes an independent judiciary to uphold the constitution and protect the citizens' fundamental rights. What are the fundamental rights? Just it's a brief, it's a we can say it's a highlighted rights to equality, rights to freedom, right against the exploitation, then rights to have a freedom of religion, right to constitutional remedies. So we'll see one by one. So the fundamental rights guaranteed by the Constitution of India are classified into the basic. These are the six categories, and in bracket you will see the from article number 14 to 18, right for equality. Again, subheadings are there, subdivisions are there. So if you want to see what is the right uh, to against the exploitation, you have to read this article number 23 and article number 24. So you will get the exact solutions with the justification. Then right to equality prohibits the discrimination by the state on the grounds of religion, race, caste, sex. Now the new term we are introducing is the gender and place of birth. So if you remember the nursing oath what we are taking, without regardless of caste, creed, color, we have to provide the services. It is applicable in every profession based on this article. So ensures the equality before the law and equal protection of the law of all citizens. Then abolishes the untouchability and practice of titles. Then right to freedom. The protects the fundamental freedoms like speech, expression, assembly, association, movement, and residence. So as an Indian citizen, we have this freedom where the other uh, countries may not have. Provides the protection in respect of conviction for offences, including the right to life and personal liberty, guarantee of the right to take a education. Then cultural and fundamental rights to protect the interests of minorities and grants them to right to preserve their distinct language, script and culture. It allows the minority groups to establish and administer the educational institutions of their choice. We know it's a state, central government, private, but still the minority group are getting a chance to enter into the different platforms. The right to constitutional remedies provides the right to approach the Supreme Court of India for the enforcement of these fundamental rights. If you see these, what are the rights I'm just listing. These all rights are available in the what are the rights for the children. If you are from the pediatric background, if you are interested to know about the pediatric, these are the basic rights of the children. Where it is applicable, it is not only applicable at the national level, it is applicable at the global level also. Then right against the exploitation prohibits the traffic in human beings and forced labor, forbids the employment of children in hazardous job where we are facing these major issues in our setup. The right to freedom of religion. They ensures the freedom of consciences and the free profession practice and propagation of religion. Grants freedom to manage religious affairs and freedom from taxation for the promotion of any particular region. So just keep in mind the specific word without force. Okay, freedom. These are the important when it comes to the religious practices and freedom for the religion. So these are the some references from where we took these all PPTs, and I just want to thank, the credit goes to the pediatric department who did this all work. Thank you.